good. Go ahead and lay all the way back. Nice and comfortable. Give the breath a chance to start flowing. Good inhales, long exhales. And feel how funny this perspective is laying on our back. Like if you were to peek around, what if this was how the world was for you? There are people that's the case. There's certain people, maybe disabilities or whatever, that can make it such that this is our perspective. And so our idea of our class today is taking on a fresh perspective, especially this early time of the year. Oftentimes it can get to the point where there's more of a willingness to try versus maybe the end of a year or the middle of a year. It's like we don't really want to try. It's like, I've given up on this year. There's no point in working toward anything. So that's what I love about this fresh time of year, is that we're willing to open our eyes, to try new things, to start new habits or restart habits. And that freshness just kind of pervades this energy of the year, and I love it. And so the way that we're playing with that freshness is fresh perspective, specifically with our vision. So sometimes we'll take a moment to just pause wherever we're at and look around as if, what if this was how I viewed life all the time? Just with that sense of curiosity, that sense of openness to look at things in a new way. So before we get into a lot of our poses today, let's start off with rubbing our hands together. Let's create a little bit of friction, a little bit of warmth. Take a moment until you really do feel some of that warmth. And when you do, let's cup our hands over our eyes. Imagine giving the eyes permission to see anew today. Whether it's the poses we come across in our class, maybe it's driving later on, or talking with people that we've talked with a million times. Here, we're giving our eyes permission to see everything anew. One more beautiful breath in. Nice exhale. And start to drop the hands down. As the hands release, let's stretch arms all the way to the back wall. Feel the low back take a gentle arch. From this shape, let's start to head into our beautiful banana shape. So right ankle crosses over left, legs scoot to the left. Grab onto right wrist and scoot the shoulders to the left. So big banana shape, everything should be scooted off to left. Huge breaths, opening up the lungs. Another good breath flows in. Out. Our gentle release. We open up the arms and take it to second side. Everything scooted off to right. So left ankle over, legs to the right. And grab left wrist, scooting shoulders off to the right. Huge banana shape. Take one more good inhale. Exhale. from that exhale, gentle release. We're back up to stretching up, arms up overhead. Circle the arms through the sides, hug around the knees, start to bring the knees into the chest. Take a couple of easy rocking moments. Transfer both hands around the right knee. Slide the left leg long on ground. Hug that right knee into a good angle. Some of us might hug in toward shoulder. Some of us might hug a little wider or a little bit more crossed. Just find that good, easy, fresh perspective for this hip. Breath in. And out. And this knee starts to cross over the body, head into a nice spinal twist. Let yourself gaze away from the knee that's twisting. Gazing off to that side, imagine, what if this was all I could ever look at? This half of the room. How curious it is. What colors are there? What shapes? What objects are there to look at? Take 2 more breaths just to sink it in. For that second exhale, the knee starts to rise back up. Drop this leg down. Give the hug onto the second leg. Find the angle that feels fresh for the hip. When you're ready, start taking it over the body into the twist. Gaze away from the direction of the bent knee. And how does this half of the room compare to the first half? Depending on where your physical place is in the room, maybe you have a lot more to look at, or maybe it's like, oh, I just have, 1 or 2 things over there. Even with the way that the wall's painted in different colors, one side might have a whole bunch of colors for you, the other side just 1 or 2. So notice, if this was the color you had to look at all the time, how would it shape your perspective? Taking a nice inhale, beautiful exhale. Return the hip to ground, knees come back into chest, give it a couple more rocks. Take a bridge pose, so feet release close to glutes, hands on the floor by hips. When we lift the hips up, try and see if hands can clasp under the back. Sometimes it happens, sometimes not. If the hand clasp happens, walk shoulders closer together. So what this opens for you, the pecs, chest, that strength through glutes, quads. So what it's like to squeeze the knees just a little bit closer. Good, 1 more inhale. Exhale, release hands if they're there. Unwind shoulders, return hips down. And let's prepare to come up to a seated place. Some of us might use more of a strength or a rolling approach. Some of us might use a fetal position approach, rolling through a side and pressing up. However we get here, when you're ready, you're situated, let's take it into nice, easy cobbler. Bottoms of feet together. Some days we arch the heart up, opening the hips like a cover of a book. Some days we tilt forward. Either way, it can lead to a fresh perspective. We're tilting forward. What on the mat or the grains of wood on the floor is there to look at. No judgment. Sometimes there's like that immediate like, oh, there's something wrong right there. I see a flaw. But what if instead we had more of a sense of curiosity about the workmanship? It's like, how interesting that this can exist just like this. Enjoy 2 more breaths from this perspective. You start to lengthen the spine back up. The legs could stay if this is an easy shape for you, or it can drop into normal cross leg, that's fine. Allow yourself, as we're taking some neck stretches, some neck movement, allow yourself to really let the eyes be open, just curiosity here. So it looks like this, the fingers clasped together, placing the knuckles under the chin. When the chin comes down, the elbows lift up, we're gazing down. When the elbows start to come together, that naturally will push the chin up. So follow this with your breath. Inhales. The elbows open. Exhales. Gentle squeeze. No injuries to neck allowed, so don't push it too far. If you've got any issues. Inhales. Exhales. Lots of things to look at, lots of things to be curious about. 3. 2. And 1. Good. Gentle release of the chin. We start to sway left and right. Again, if it's easier to go into cross leg, that's fine. But we plant one hand to one side and lean all the way over. And then easy rise back up. That's our inhale. Exhale to lean to second side. And back up. And notice if you're taking more of a face forward, so then the angle that you're seeing is constantly being tilted. You could take that perspective. Or sometimes people here take the perspective of gazing down and then forward. So notice what your natural perspective is. Maybe one of the cycles we switch it up. Just to see the world a little bit differently than we automatically do. Good. The next time that we've got our right hand planted, stay. And left hand up and over. And allow the right ear to drop to right shoulder. Left hand hovers to go right back above ground, but we continue to lean over to the right. So how that starts to pull left shoulder into the stretch. If the head needs to tilt forward or backward, or if the arm needs to pull forward or backward to really feel an effective shoulder stretch, take any of those adjustments. 2 more breaths in this spot. Easy rise up. Leaning over to the left. Feel the stretch. Get the left ear dropped over left shoulder. As the right hand starts to return, feel it pull the shoulder into the stretch. Either the arm can tilt forward or backward, or the head can tilt in ways that get the shoulder stretch much more effective. More breath in, out. Easy rise up. Let the legs cross. Let's head over onto hands and knees. Taking some cat-cows.
Again, notice the first couple of rounds. What is it that you naturally gaze at? Usually there's kind of 2 points. When I'm curling in, my gaze naturally goes maybe here. When I'm arching the spine, maybe my gaze naturally goes there. See if you can maybe expand the range of the eyes, or maybe just find a new point to look at each time. This practice on the eyes can actually be really effective at helping to stretch those little tiny muscles that are in the eyes. By stretching them, we can help them because they're, focusing on every little thing, coming into focus all the time. It can help those muscles stay more toned. 2 more rounds. And 1 more. Good. Leaving hips over knees, walk the hands forward to puppy pose. If it's comfortable to drop the chin down, try to take that perspective today, either gazing at the mat or trying to let the eyes gaze forward in between hands. If that crunches neck at all though, it's okay to place forehead down and have the gaze be more toward the spot underneath us. Find the spot that's gonna work for your body. So that chest open, heart trying to drop down. More breath. Start to allow hands to walk backwards into child pose. Let it be kind of the curled in shape where forehead is easily resting on ground. And maybe with the eyes open there, we only get a little tiny sliver of the world. Maybe a little bit of light passing through somewhere. Imagine, what if you were kind of like an ant or something that had to live in a hole? And what if this was the only perspective you had to work with most of the time? How curious would that be? Here, when you're ready for a downward facing dog, let your hands plant, tuck the toes, lift the hips, and especially use this first one to give yourself that upside down perspective. The neck is loose in the down dog, no tension. What can you see from the upside down perspective? For some animals, like vampire bats, sloths. Literally dogs, downward facing dog. Gonna take on this perspective. Good. When you're happy here, you've had some time to wiggle out. We'll start to make our way up to a forward fold at the top. Help your body be comfortable in that forward fold. We'll take a few extra breaths. So if that means blocks under hands, that's great. It's your choice. Let the neck swivel such that it can gaze left and right. With the curiosity, this is the world upside down. Let's explore one more huge inhale. Exhale. Inhale, circle arms up to sky. And hands down to heart. So starting to wake up the spine a little bit more, we'll take the first part of a flow. We'll repeat it a few times. So inhale when we circle arms up, take a slight back bend. Exhale, arms open wide through the sides, drop all the way down, forward fold. Inhale, half lift, long spine. Exhale, release back down. And inhale, circle up to sky. Imagine this is the first time you've done that. Exhale, hands to heart. We'll take another normal one like that. Inhale, circle up. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, rise. Exhale, hands to heart. And then let's take one with our eyes closed. New perspective. Inhale, circle up. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, rise. Exhale, hands down to heart. Beautiful. Opening the eyes, inhale, circle up to sky. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, half lift. And this time as fingers make their way down toward floor, just right foot steps back. We're taking a little twist, so right hand is on floor or block. Left hand is circling up to sky. See this half of the room. Maybe even shift your gaze. Can you gaze up to your top hand? Just notice. Nice inhale. Exhale, the hand drops down. Lower the back knee down. Scoot the front toes forward just a little bit for the lunge shape, so the knee doesn't have to go past the toes. Hands can be blocks or floor. Good. Shifting the hips over the back knee, front leg straightens. Nice easy half split. Notice how the focus is very much down. So what's a curious point to look at? Maybe there's something on your mat that kind of has a sparkle. Maybe there's a design that's curious, or something about the blanket. Kind of brings our attention to the workmanship. It's like somebody actually put the attention to make this stuff. Inhale, exhale. Let's start to send this leg back underneath our body. You get to choose child's pose, down dog, or a flow. What would feel best at this point in class? Still warming up our body. Eventually, at some point, we'll make our way up to a forward fold at the top. It's not a rush if you're still exploring. The neck be loose. Next inhale, rises, arms up to sky, little arch back. Exhale, hands down to the heart. Opening the hands into mountain right beside our hips. We use our exhale to set the hips back. Fierce pose, arms sweep up by the ears. And exhale, return back mountain. Inhale, sweep. Exhale, straighten. Another 5. Notice if there's 2 points you tend to gaze toward. 4.
Just have that sense of curiosity. Why is it that that's what I'm looking at? 3, 2, 1. And so as we rise back up, clasp hands back together behind your back. The knees can be any amount of bent. And we start to bow forward. Feel those shoulders have a chance to stretch behind us. Give that a couple of breaths. Notice if you're adding neck tension, you can let the head be loose. Good. One more inhale. Exhale, drop fingers to floor. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, fingers back down. Slide the left foot back. Left hand on block or floor. Right hand up to sky in the twist. Gaze to this half of the room. Fresh perspective. Maybe even a moment to try to see, can I gaze my neck up to sky? Just notice. Nice inhale. And exhale, the hand can lower, back knee can drop. Scoot the front toes forward so that your lunge doesn't allow knee to go past toes. Scoot the hips forward. Good, easy half split. Front leg straightens. The focus is definitely downward. The breath flows in, out. Start to swing this leg underneath us. Again, your option, child pose, down dog, or a flow. Notice if it's automatic, or if there's something curious or important about why you choose what you choose. And eventually lowering to a kneeling position. We're on all fours. From here, right hand will circle up to sky. Do a wrist roll as you're gazing up, clockwise, counterclockwise, and thread that right shoulder all the way down onto the ground. The left hand can stretch forward or circle around the low back, your choice. Notice this perspective. How interesting. My head is close to the ground. How often is that our perspective? Take another inhale. Exhale, left hand slides in front of face, press into it. Maybe explore a nice cat-cow. Kind of wiping the slate clean, all perspective accepted in. And when you're ready, left hand circles up to sky. Try to gaze up as we do at least one circle clockwise, counterclockwise with the wrist. And let's thread that left shoulder to floor. Right hand stretches forward or wraps around low back, your choice. Feel the shoulder open. You don't always have to keep the attention into your eyes, but at least for a moment,
Notice the curiosity of gazing really low to the ground on this half. Now another huge inhale to flow. Exhale. Right hand slides in. Press into it. Let's refresh with another cat-cow. From there up to downward facing dog, spread the fingers, push down through all the joints of the hand. That relieves that pressure in the wrist bones. From down dog, let's start today with left leg floating up to sky. Feel it reach high. And step that left foot in between hands. As the back heel rotates down, take a brief warrior one. Reaching up high. Circle open warrior two. Let's take the tilted perspective of extended side angle. Left elbow to left thigh, right arm stretching forward. Some people gaze down, some people gaze up, some people gaze directly to the side. Beautiful inhale. Exhale. Rise back up to warrior two. From warrior two, clasp hands together behind your back. Take the hands to the right hip or the right waist. Let the right ear drop to right shoulder. The neck, a couple of breaths just to ease some of the tension out. Maybe the eyes are open. Maybe you take a moment to close them if the balance is steady enough. And softens back up. Shift the grip to left waist or left hip, and left ear drops to left shoulder. Inhale. Exhale, release the arms entirely, spreading back open warrior two. Turn the toes to the long edge of mat. Drop down, wide angle, forward fold. At first, the focus is crown of head aiming downward. So whatever that means for grip, it's okay. That could be gripping onto ankles, having hands or elbows on blocks, reaching through the legs, lots of options. And we'll take a twist from here. So left hand grabs for right ankle. Right hand could come up to hip, up to low back, or up to sky. Good, release. Right hand to left ankle. Left hand up to hip, low back, sky. Good, unwind. With hands in contact with floor, start to walk the hands up to top of mat. Take another twist. Left hand circling up to sky. Brief inhale. Exhale, plant the hand down. Slide left foot back. Child's pose, down dog, or a flow. Good. Let's start to lift right leg up now. Reach it nice and high. When you're ready, step right foot in between hands, back heel down.
Warrior one. Inhale. Exhale, warrior two. Extended side angle, right elbow to right thigh. We're leaning that top arm forward. Notice your natural perspective. Is it up? Is it down? Is it directly to the side? Good. Returning back to warrior two. Hands clasped behind back. Hands grip and shift to left waist or hip. Left ear drops to left shoulder. Notice again, is my balance best with eyes open, closed? Just notice the perspective you can take on. Head rises up. Hands to left, right hip or right waist and right ear down. Good. Head easy up, arms release, spread back open, warrior two. Feel that softness in the shoulders. And turn to the long edge of mat. Another opportunity to be with that wide angle forward fold. What hand position here helps crown of head to try to sink down just a little bit more? Minimizing the tension we tend to have in our neck that tells us I have to look in front of me. I have to, keep myself prepared for the fight. Let's take that little twist again. So let's take right ankle to left. The left hand reaches up to one of those three spots. Hip, low back, or sky. This left hand comes to left ankle. Try to pull torso directly into that left leg. Just another bonus moment here. And switch. Left hand to right ankle. Right hand hip, low back, or sky. Right hand to ankle, pull into the right leg. Beautiful. Find the hands in contact with floor. Start to walk, pivot up to top of mat. Breathe, twist, right hand lifts up to sky. When it comes back down, slide the right foot back, child pose down dog or a flow. This is one we enjoy as long as it feels helpful when we feel ready to come up to top of mat. One more time, make your way up there. Sooner or later, when we're up there, can we release some of the neck tension, shake the head out? Forward fold at the top if you're not there yet. Let's take another good inhale. Exhale. Inhale, rise. Hands to heart. Good. Feel the spine lengthened up a little taller. Body a little bit more circulation going on.
So you've got 3 options to play with for this next one. Just depends on what's working for our body today. Option 1 is going to be a tree pose. We're standing on left foot, the right leg opens tree. Option 2 would be figure 4, right ankle to left thigh. And option 3 would be like a lotus pose. The right foot working its way into the left hip crease. The left hand is welcome to help out. So notice which perspective is working today. Good. Try to take 2 more breaths with balance. Good. Whether we want to take a forward fold from this shape, whichever we've chosen, that's fine. Or drop this leg just crossed in front of the other on the ground, that's fine. Let's come into a forward fold. Fingers could be on block. Fingers could be on floor. That right leg getting this bonus opportunity to just open a little bit. One more inhale. Exhale. As we rise up, you get to choose, are we uncrossing now or later? Good. You need to shake any tension from the feet out, go right ahead. Okay. We're ready to stand on right foot. Left leg can take tree. Figure 4. Maybe that lotus variation, trying to get left foot into right hip crease, right foot helps. Whichever we're going with, try to find balance. Notice how single pointed focus is the most effective for balance. Gazing at something that's not moving. A little lesson for life. Sometimes when our perspective is constantly shifting and changing, how can it be to just look at one thing? One more inhale. Exhale. And choose the high position, staying where you are, or dropping it into crossed low. Take it into the forward fold. More beautiful inhale. Exhale. Either uncross now or later as we rise up. Beautiful. Last opportunity to do that little mini flow that we practiced before, circling arms up to sky, feel the chest open like this is the first time we've ever done this. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, fingers drop down. Just left foot slides back. Lower the left knee to floor. Make sure the toes are far enough forward that knee won't go past toes as we come up, hands to thigh, hips sinking forward. We'll take a twist. So you can either place the left hand on the outside of the thigh, twist right hand open, or anybody who wants to go down to elbow, you can take that version of the twist instead. The spine open up, got the space. Beautiful inhale. Exhale, unwind. Checks to be with that brief half split or further if you wish. Just 3 or 4 breaths. This right foot works its way off to the left side of mat for pigeon pose. Slide the back knee back further if there's more space.
Play with the perspective that you're wishing for in this pigeon today. Maybe you stay with the back bend. Maybe you go to sleeping pigeon. Play with what's going to be effective for opening up your tight spots. We're unwinding. Place the right hip on the floor. Swing the left leg around in front, either cross leg or shin stack. From there, first start off sliding hands directly forward. And then walk the hands a little bit off to the right. A little bit off to the left, playing with those two perspectives in this shape. Good, back through the center, one more breath in. Out, rising up. Swing the legs underneath the body. We're kneeling. From kneeling, we'll do a rabbit pose. So forehead gets placed down onto the ground in front of us. We circle the hands around to grab the heels. By lifting hips up, we rock into that rabbit pose, and I stretch for the back of the neck. If heels are a little too far, you can kind of circle arms around the shins. One more breath in. And out. Good. Unwind from that. Either transition to the second side, the right foot stepping forward from, or left foot, sorry, forward from down dog or from kneeling. You get to choose. So left foot ends up forward. Lowering back knee down. We're lunging forward. Hands coming up to thigh. And twist. Right hand to outside of left knee. Spiraling left hand open behind us. Good. Return. Half split. Drop hands down, straighten front leg. Okay, that left foot works its way to the right. Swivel the knee down, pigeon pose. Again, choose the variation that's going to be helpful here. More slow, deep breaths. Weight shifts onto left hip. Right leg swings around, cross leg or shin stack. Plant the hands in front of you, slide forward and through. Walk the hands a little bit over to left.
A little bit over to right. Back to center. One more beautiful breath in. Out. Rising up.
Good. So here we can start our transition towards Shavasana. If there's last stretches we need, take them. If you're ready to just settle directly down, that's great. Your choice entirely. The one recommendation I have is prior to that complete release in Shavasana, take another chance to do the hand warming, placing palms over the eyes, imagining that this is symbolically prepping our eyes for fresh new perspectives to come. Maybe fresh perspectives for the new year. Maybe just freshness in our life. Sometimes we get stuck in our old ways. So just opening up for anything new to come to us. Or maybe there's something that we're kind of transferring into our eyes through our hands, like the word love. Can I see more love around me? No rush to get there. But at least taking a couple of breaths with the hands like that before we have that final release. Here we begin to deepen our inhales and our exhales. Introducing little movements back to our body, fingers and toes, ankles and wrists. Stretching out in ways that feel really good. Perhaps taking a little fetal position off to one side, if that feels like that will be helpful for our body. Throwing a few bonus breaths, maybe 3 or 4 good deep cycles, until sooner or later you feel ready to rise. No rush to get there. As we arise sooner or later, hands joining together in front of the heart, we allow ourselves permission to have fresh perspective, to recognize no matter how much we've learned of a topic, there's always something deeper to explore. Fresh perspective, having patience with those around us, recognizing we're just like we're always changing, others around us can have the grace to change at their rate too. And freshness with kind of the playful aspects of life, the skills, the hobbies, the goals we like to take on to help us lengthen our stride. So with fresh perspective to help lead us on, let's wrap up the time we shared together with the sound of Om. Deep inhale now. May we be filled with light, happiness, and peace. Namaste.